In case you weren't aware, roller skating is still cool, and a new movie by a local filmmaker reminds us why.
Hi, my name is Trinaldo Walters. My friends call me Tree, and I'm the writer, producer, and director of the Old School Rollers movie. I'm a native Washingtonian. I grew up in Northeast in a neighborhood called Kenilworth Courts, and it was very, very challenging growing up as a youth here in the DMV. I'm the youngest of 5, raised by a single mother at the time, so my moms didn't have the finances or the resources to make sure all her kids was involved in a lot of activities. But what she would do was encourage us to use those gifts and those talents and abilities that we had within us, and to go out and try to do our best. And so that's what I did. And roller skating was one of those activities that kept me focused. It kept me out of a lot of troubles, because instead of being on the streets of Washington, D.C. hanging out, I was hanging out with family and friends at the skating rink. And so that's what I did to pass a lot of time. How I got involved in broadcasting, I'm a musician as well. I play keyboards and percussion. So as a teenager, in my teenage years and going into my 20s, I was involved in a lot of studios, recording studios, and I had the awesome privilege to be at Future Sound Records and Tapes, owned by Rio Edwards, who is a legend in the go-go community. He was also the sound engineer for the late, great Chuck Brown. And so he took me under his wing and I became his student. I was able to acquire the knowledge and the skill set that I needed to push me into my profession. My first professional job as a sound engineer was at Black Entertainment Television in 1996. I got hired as an audio engineer. And for the 8 years that I was at Black Entertainment Television, at the conclusion of that, I was able to start my own production company called Outreach Production. And so that's what led me to where I'm at right now. Roller skating has always been a huge part of my family. My grandfather was an awesome skater, and he used to skate at the legendary Calorama Road. I remember going there as a youth, and then I started skating with my brothers and my cousins and friends at the Alexandra skating rink when I was a teenager. And then we would also skate at Anacostia Park or Crystals, which is still there today. Crystals is called Skate Palace. And so yes, skating has always been a part of my family. It's a part of my DNA now. What made me decide to do the Old School Rollers movie? I decided to do it because I wanted people to get a sense of what it was like for me growing up in the DMV and being a part of that skate culture, but not just the skate culture, but also the go-go culture as well too, because both of those cultures was a part of me growing up, and I wanted to merge them together so people would get a sense of how it is growing up in the DMV under these two awesome cultures of the go-go community and the skate community, and put it all into one film so people can be totally amazed that this all comes out of the DMV area. Everyday life in the hood, in the DMV, in the DMV. The Old School Rollers is a movie about a gentleman who had just reached retirement age. After he retires, he realizes that he doesn't know what to do with his time until he has a conversation with his wife about revisiting some of the visions that he had when he was much younger. One of those visions was to start a roller skating class. So he sets out to do that, only to find out when he returns to the roller skating rink after so many years, things have changed. He encounters a situation with some disrespectful youth, and this leads to them challenging each other to an all-out skate battle.
Oh man, you need to get off the floor, especially if you see us coming.
Old man? Who you calling old man? See, that's the problem with you young folks today. You have no respect for your elders.
The two lead roles are played by Kenneth Davis, who plays the role of Anthony, and he is the captain for the Old School Rollers. And then you have his rival, which is played by Brian Colburn, who plays the role of Jaja, and he is the captain for the youth team, the Blackout Crew. The response to the Old School Rollers movie has been amazing. We've had 8 screenings so far, and each screening that we have, it's been a standing ovation. If people want to keep up with us at Outreach Productions, they can follow us online on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube under Outreach TV Network.